The enemies of Paradise Island are notorious for trying to rob the citizens of their freedom and autonomy. Eren disagreed with their actions, and with all the conviction in the world, he declared, "We're born free. All of us. Free." Some don't believe it, others try to take it away. To hell with them. Eren focused all of his might on achieving the first win for humanity against the man-eating titans. This quote was a pivotal moment for Eren because it proved his determination and resolve to the audience. Eren has always been defiant and unafraid to stand up in the face of injustice. Eren eventually developed a very black and white view of his enemies, hardly a surprise given everything he's endured. Eren refuses to show any sympathy and now believes it's best to do unto others what they've done to him. A prime example of Eren's new perspective was when he said, "If someone is willing to take my freedom, I won't hesitate to take theirs." At this point, Eren's primary goal is self-preservation. Even if the people who try taking his freedom away aren't necessarily his enemies, he'll view them as such. The citizens in Attack on Titan are constantly bombarded with propaganda. It's one of the most sinister tools in existence because it preys upon the vulnerabilities of people's psyches. Marley knows how to do this all too well. Eventually, some people start to see through the propaganda and feel remorseful for their actions while under its influence. Eren proved his insightfulness when he told Reiner, "You are ignorant children. All of that was beaten into you by ignorant adults. What could you have done to fight back against that?" While the viewer's day-to-day circumstances are vastly different from the nightmarish reality Eren Yeager faces every day, he's certainly said a few quotes that could serve as encouragement during trying times. One such quote was when he said, "If you win, you live. If you lose, you die. If you don't fight, you can't win." The first two sentences of the quote probably don't apply to most, but comparing winning and losing to living versus dying puts things into perspective. The last sentence, however, serves as quite the battle cry. Humanity is protected behind walls to avoid the man-eating titans that roam the outside world. However, this doesn't stop the people within from wanting a glimpse at what's beyond the barriers. No matter what, humanity will always have hope that better things are lying just beyond the horizon. Optimism is never entirely out of reach. One of Eren's most inspiring quotes was when he said, "I want to see and understand the world outside. I don't want to die inside these walls without knowing what's out there."
In the beginning of the series, Eren's mother Carla was eaten by the Smiling Titan. One of the garrison's soldiers, Hans, had the opportunity to save her along with Eren and Mikasa but only saved the children. When they finally met again, Hans was ready to avenge Carla. However, Eren also wanted revenge. The Smiling Titan ended up killing Hans, but Eren found a power he didn't know he had as he made the other titans around them attack his mother's murderer. Jean and Eren have always had a very interesting relationship. When they first met, their goals in life couldn't have been more opposite. While Eren wanted to join the Survey Corps and see the outside world even if it meant he'd face his demise, Jean wanted to join the military police and live a safe life. During training, Annie taught Eren a move he would later use against Jean before saying these words to him. Jean eventually decided to join the Survey Corps and the two became close comrades. When the Survey Corps found out colossal titans were inside the walls, they also learned Minister Nick had known all along and refused to reveal this information. In order to convince Minister Nick to tell them everything he knew, the Survey Corps had Nick join them, causing him to see firsthand the terrible conditions some of Paradise people were living in. However, Eren wanted to learn everything that Nick knew immediately and got angry. Manga readers know that Eren's views have changed, making these words incredibly ironic. After his powers were discovered, Eren joined Levi's squad and learned a lot from them. They became close comrades and they earned his trust. When fighting against the female titan, Levi's squad refused to stop and help soldiers who were dying. Even though he didn't understand why they chose to ignore their fallen friends, Eren believed in them and they lured the female titan into a trap. However, once the female titan escaped, Levi's squad fought against her. They told Eren to leave them, which he did, saying these words. All four of his friends were killed, and he learned how important it is to make critical decisions, especially when one doesn't know the outcome. When Eren and Historia were kidnapped by her father, Rod, they learned of the events that led to Eren becoming a titan. His father, Grisha, stole the founding titan from Frida, Historia's sister, before killing other members of the Rice family. Grisha gave Eren an injection to turn him into a titan and allowed himself to be eaten by his son. At the time of learning this, Eren felt guilty for being responsible for the deaths of many soldiers who believed he was special. Eren was prepared to die in order to give the Rice family the founding titan back before Historia told him everything Grisha did was to save humanity. When Bertholdt and Reiner were revealed to be the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan, Eren fought against the two he once looked up to. However, they won the fight and kidnapped him, as well as Ymir. Stopping to rest at a forest, Reiner and Bertholdt had a deep conversation with their victims. The two called themselves warriors rather than soldiers, to which Eren yelled these words at them. Knowing that Eren would die in a few years due to inheritors of the 9 titans only living for 13 years, he and his friends had a conversation to determine who would become the next attack titan and founding titan. Mikasa, Jean, Connie, and Sasha had all volunteered to take his place, but he told them he wouldn't let any of them eat him because he cared about them too much to want them to die while they were still young. Despite becoming their enemy, Eren also cared about them and has done everything for their freedom. When Eren learned Reiner was the Armored Titan, he hated the men he thought of as his older brother. However, after the Survey Corps found out the truth about Paradis and Marley, Eren began to understand why Reiner, Bertholdt, and Annie broke down Shiganshina and Walmaria. Eren went to Marley and disguised himself, so his enemies wouldn't know he was there. Eren manipulated Falco and had him bring Reiner to him, where he told his old friend that the two of them were much more alike than they had once thought. Eren and the Survey Corps attacked Marley, took the Warhammer Titan, and brought Zeke to Paradis. One of the newest interactions Eren had was between him and his old friends. Deciding to destroy the other countries so they wouldn't attack Paradis anymore, Eren became the greatest killer in the entire series. The Survey Corps joined forces with Marley's warrior unit in order to stop him. At first, they had hoped to convince Eren to end his rampage. However, Eren told them that he wouldn't stop unless they defeat him. Fans were intrigued by the heartbreaking battle between the characters who were once inseparable. Eren had always wanted to go outside the walls and fight the Titans. However, after his mother was killed, this goal became the most important thing to him. Eren wanted to get revenge against the Titans for destroying his family and home. As the story progressed, he and the other characters learned that the Titans were not their true enemies and that it was other countries in the world that used the giant cannibals to kill them. Eren is finally fulfilling his goal as he murders thousands of people and fans cannot wait to see what he does next.